Never have I uncovered something as dark, evil as I did when I was doing this.
And so John Bravo says, warning of what you're about to hear, you may not want to hear it. And so if you are squeamish, you don't want to have nightmares, you don't want to think the world is a bad place, just stop watching the video right now.
Stop it. Get some help.
And so everyone knows about Wes Watson, but this alpha, this loser, this asshole, as John Bravo puts it, he makes Wes Watson look like a nice guy. The story was first broke by Penguin Z0. TikTok Tough Guy is the title.
Definitely happened.
Yeah, and so at 13 years of age, he had enough. You know, he broke the dad stick over his arm, grabbed him, threw across the room, broke a coffee table. And from that moment on, he was the toughest man in the world. No man ever was tougher than this guy. I mean, he literally has recalcified his entire body. He's literally a living Wolverine. You remember Jean-Claude Van Damme when he was kicking down trees? Well, he's nothing compared to this guy. And so Bruce Lee, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Chuck Norris, these guys, they pale in comparison to the strength of this alpha. I mean, bro is him. But unfortunately, he's done something so bad in his past when he was a teenager, which we're going to describe. You're never going to forgive him. What you don't know is we're all superhumans. You just have to unlock our genetic potential. You cause microfractures and it recalcifies, gets that much stronger. And so he's unlocked this potential. And so if you try to punch him in the face, you break your fist. His bones are impenetrable. They cannot be broken. And so what makes matters worse is he actually believes this. I know an actual friend of his who described him, and he says he actually believes all these things. And so perhaps he's a little cuckoo, a little loco, as we say in Spanish. I mean, with these guys' claims, I wouldn't be surprised as he's the next guy to say, oh, we're selling actual Ajuga turkistanica. And if you take this, you know what happens? You live to be 200, you bench press 1,000 pounds, and your muscles will be so big you'll win the Mr. Olympia. This is an exaggeration. This isn't true. But what I can tell you is that it's way better than creatine. And if you don't believe me, there's literally a money-back guarantee and a $20 gift card, and so you can try it risk-free. If it doesn't work up to your expectations, let's say you're hoping to put on 10 pounds of muscle in a day and it doesn't, you can get your money back. Now, am I saying it's going to put on 10 pounds of muscle in a day? No. But if you want it to and it doesn't and you're disappointed, you get your money back. And so code Greg, 15% off. And remember, we have actual Ajuga turkistanica. We've had Marwan go on an excavation to do a documentary on exactly how they collect these plants and so on. And so it's not that stuff from China. It's not the stuff that other companies are selling. If you want the actual Ajuga turkistanica, you got to get it from HDLT Supplements, code Greg, 15% off. And so John Bravo, he covered the story. The most delusional alpha man on the planet is spiraling out of control.
I trained martial arts my whole life. I know how to fight very, very well. I've taken on not one, not two guys. I fought 30 guys at the same time and they couldn't take me out.
You know, he's not bothered with one or two guys. He can beat up one or two guys with ease. This is nothing. But his challenge is somewhere around 30. 30 guys, you know, unless they're trained fighters, he can take them all out. And so this man against a gorilla, you're betting on this man. Gorilla has no chance. He studies martial arts his entire life, and with the aid of the microfractures, he's literally a superhuman.
He went to prison. He gets out. He's a multi-millionaire by 24 years old. And now he's selling programs to people.
And so what is it with all these guys that go to prison and get out and sell programs and are now millionaires, all dressed in white with those purses and so on? What is going on with this? Is there something that happens when you go to prison? Perhaps you've been pegged, and when you get out, All you wear is white and you now sell programs.
He's even wearing that same white outfit that we see all these assholes wear. It's color coordinated.
And so why is John Bravo dressed all in white? John, it's time to change up your wardrobe. Notice, Coach Greg is in black.
And it's gotta be from Puff Daddy. Remember, Puff Daddy had all these celebrity white parties where everyone goes and they dress all in white clothes because they think it's cool.
And so, John, you got to be careful when you're talking about the Diddy parties all dressed in white and you're also dressed in white. Are you giving us a little wink, wink? I don't want to know. Ben retired at the age of 24 after selling patents for $150 million. Not with the patents. I mean, just so you know, Meptagram was like, patents is the sexiest thing a man could ever have. If you have a patent, you're next level. $100 million is nothing. But if you can get a patent, bro. Since then, he's invested in hundreds of businesses as venture capitalist and took an active role in 16 businesses that have generated over 500 million in sales. And he's won multiple medals in bodybuilding competitions and competing in many cage fights around the world. Is even one word in that sentence true? I mean, is he actually retired? Does he have millions of dollars? $500 million in sales? Bodybuilding competitions? Has he ever even been shredded? I mean, what competitions has he won? Were they drug tested? Natural? Does he have an IFBB pro card? Cage fights? Who is he fighting? And he believes this. This is the weird thing. He actually believes this. You're thinking, oh, he's just an actor. He just says these things to go viral on social media. He doesn't believe any of this shit. He actually believes it. And so I'm not going to say the exact names of this, but I'm going to read some of this. And so if you need a good laugh, my blank worked for this guy before me, and he's absolutely out of his mind. He excommunicated me after blah, blah, blah. Dude, he's the funniest person on the internet, and knowing him personally makes it even funnier. He's not putting on a show. He actually believes his bullshit. He's actually got a kid in the Midwest that's like 7, and the mom won full custody of and has a restraining order against him. You can't make this stuff up.
I'm muscling, every day 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 I'm muscling, muscle real hard, muscle real hard.
I mean, he's singing about several people who are no longer with us, the original monsters. I mean, is he glorifying these people? He's driving a green Urus. I mean, I'm ashamed to drive a Urus after watching this guy. And he's singing about everybody's muscling. I mean, are they all doing muscle ups? They're muscling. I mean, are we for real right now? And so he has almost 500,000 followers. But unfortunately, it all went south. As if it hasn't gone south enough, it gets worse.
So when I do coaching, it's like overall coaching, right? For example, in my opinion, when I work with somebody, I want them to be fit. You need to have a 6-pack to work with me.
And so as a coach, you need to have a 6-pack to work out with him. And so whatever happened to helping people to get the 6-pack? Isn't that what coaches are for? They get you in shape. And so the only people that can work with him are people who are already in shape. Is that because he doesn't know how to get you in shape? He's just going to teach you how to bang your face against the wall till your bones microfracture and you become superhuman?
But I've realized as a king, I have to lead everybody. And I'm a humble king. But they call me the Batman.
And so he's a humble king, you know, the one who compares himself to Bruce Lee, Batman, a multi-millionaire. He thinks he's Bruce Lee, but he says he's humble. Now, but here's the thing. If you say that you're humble, you're not. Reminds me of Logan Paul in that interview. They walk up to him on the street and he's like, hey, what do you do for a living? And he's looking at him like, you don't know who I am? And he's like, well, I'm a WWE superstar. I'm very, very humble.
Move all of the tables and he would teach me Kung Fu. I was 10 years old, so I learned how to move.
I was thinking deeply and I was like, you know what? I don't want to think about why he loved him so much.
Here's the thing. How do we know that that person who instructed him all these kung fu moves and so on, that perhaps he loved him a little bit too much and perhaps he did things that were inappropriate with him. And because of that, it set him on a downward spiral to doing what he did at 18. Something we'll discuss in a bit.
It's crazy. He needs to sell programs, though, still. Why are you selling programs if you got this much money, asshole?
I mean, that's a great point. You're going to sell programs to teach people how to do whatever when you've already worth $150 million. It doesn't make sense. I mean, if you've created all these patents, why wouldn't you just make more patents? You're going to make way more money on the patents than you are selling programs. You're selling a program for $5,000. Is it even worth it?
I had to retire from what I was doing. I was in a unit for counterterrorism for about a decade.
And so he was in a unit for counterterrorism for 10 years. When? After he sold the patents and was worth $150 million? While he was raising $500 million in sales? The story, it doesn't add up.
At about the age of 15. The way it started, I was at a hookah bar. So I got into it with some of these guys and I ended up beating the fuck out of 6 of them.
And so at 15 years of age, he beats up 6 guys in a bar, and a underground mob guy hires him to be, I don't know, a bodyguard and a cage fighter. Is this the movies? Like, okay, first of all, he's 15. How is he in the bar? And he's beating up 6 adults and nothing happens? And no one's thinking, oh, 6 adults, they attacked a minor? I mean, does anyone believe this? But wait till you hear this story.
Because he's only talked about it once. And he said that he went to prison for something that he didn't do.
And so he claims he went to prison for something that he didn't do. But did he do it?
Never have I uncovered something as dark, evil as I did when I was doing this.
And so John Bravo says, warning of what you're about to hear. You may not want to hear it. And so if you are squeamish, you don't want to have nightmares, you don't want to think the world is a bad place, just stop watching the video right now.
Stop it. Get some help.
Ben, King Asshole, his brother, Dylan, and another kid, they're all Israelis, so I guess they're very close. They all took turns taking advantage of her.
And so what ended up happening is him and his friends, a group of guys, they took turns doing things to her that they shouldn't have done. I'm not going to say exactly what they did. I'm sure you know what happened. She was a virgin. Not anymore. This is a lawsuit by a young woman stemming from a brutal assault committed against her by defendants Ben Azoulay, Dylan Azoulay, and Mayor Vered, 2008. At the time, a 15-year-old virgin. They committed heinous acts, and she, of course, suffered and continues to suffer extreme physical and emotional damage as alleged herein. Damages go far beyond her gruesome physical wounds, which in and of themselves were severe and extreme. Forcibly dragged her into the bedroom, stripped her of her clothes, forced her to perform all kinds of acts against her will. Each time she attempted to escape, she was pulled back into the room and subjected to further assault.
And now we're going to see how he's going to deal with it.
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, my woman, there is no way that she's been with someone else. When people tell me, don't you want her experience? Experience with what?
And so he continues to lie. Perhaps he can't handle what he's done in his past and he has to invent a new life so that he can move on. I don't know what is going through his mind, but if you're buying programs from this guy, maybe stop. Like, do you really think he can teach you anything of substance? And so he's clearly been lying. I can't imagine anyone wanting to support this person. I mean, it's looking very bad. And so perhaps this guy can just stop it already. Stop with the lying, stop with the bullshit, and try to do better. I don't know what to say. Ending it here. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. And of course, cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me, my team, everything, the supplements and so on. Code Greg for 15% off. And until next time, I am out.